2023. I know 2023 is over, but this might be interesting. So, we'll do one more, just for Bri. Being a good sport for waiting throughout all those other stuff I had to do, so we'll do another one.
There are a lot of exciting new manga series releasing in 2023, and more are sure to be on the way. In this video, I only included series that are releasing for the first time with English translation and that are receiving print releases, so digital releases are not on this list.
Samurai.
And if you are interested in picking up any of these manga, I've included pre-order links.
You've been a good sport. Like, it's below. I know I'm pretty sure you don't mind the videos that we watch, but I'm pretty sure they kind of get a little bit annoying and boring after a while, and they're not exciting to hear about because they're usually back news. So I understand.
That all being said, here are the new manga you need to be reading in 2023. I have to talk about Innocent by Shinichi Sakamoto first. When Dark Horse announced that they would be releasing 3-in-1 omnibuses of the series at Anime NYC, I couldn't believe it. Definitely up there with the announcement of Homunculus for me, which I'm going to talk about later, as news of the year. I would honestly have been happy with any of Sakamoto's works being printed, whether it be The Climber or DRCL, but Innocent is an incredible first step, and I'm really hoping this means that all of his works will be on the way in the future too. Innocent is set before the French Revolution, and its story is told from the perspective of Charles Henry Sanson, who comes from a family of executioners. He takes on this role even though he doesn't want to, in order to essentially change the system from within. One of the things about Shinichi Sakamoto's works that always captivates me is not only the fact that he emphasizes reality, and this is something you can see through his hyper-realistic artwork, but I also really love the fact that you can hear what's happening on the page. You don't just see the events that are unfolding before you, you feel them, hear them, and more. It's as if you're in the very scene. I remember seeing an interview with him where he said he was experimenting with not using onomatopoeia in his panels. He wants to make you imagine those sounds rather than tell you they are there, and he excels at doing so. He even goes as far to help the reader understand what something would sound like in his works. For instance, in Koko no Hito, he mentioned that the sound of a glacier collapsing is not something that we come across every day. But we see and hear buildings collapsing in film all the time. So he drew a panel of a building collapsing before to give the reader the idea as to what it would sound like. He is truly one of the best artists of our time. Also, all of the details and work he puts into making Innocent and how all of its characters are accurate to the time period it's set in is incredible. The details of their clothing, their hair, where they live, and the settings they take part in is just above and beyond, and it's a true masterpiece through and through. Innocent is one of my top series from Sakamoto, but also one of my top series of all time. We have stunning artwork, detailed and intricate, that's full of emotion and symbolism. He showcases our characters' emotions in abstract ways, but his works are rooted entirely in realism. It's one of the best historical series I've ever read and is full of drama and is quite over the top in the best way possible too. The first volume is expected to release on November 22nd, 2023, so be sure to keep an eye out.
The reason why it's so quiet because I'm doing a reactionary video, believe it or not. And this is why I'm so quiet, and you probably hear the music that's playing from TikTok. We're doing reactions, so I do a bunch of reactions based on like wokeism or something that's going on manga stuff or this comic book stuff, and we're doing it right now. We're on the last video, and a lot. So you go on YouTube, you can see the reactionary stuff, or you can go look at my tutorials on how I do art. So like those are there as well. So yeah, you can go check them out if you like. It's on YouTube. Who's playing these frickin' games?
This next manga already released from Yen Press in January 2023. It's Oshinoko from the creators of Scum's Wish and Kaguya-sama Love is War. I actually did an early look at this one on the channel if you'd like to check it out. There's also an anime of this one coming in April 2023 too, so there's a lot to look forward to. Oshinoko is quite an out there series, but I love these types of stories, so this is a compliment coming from me. I was excited for this one because it's written by the creator of one of my favorite romantic comedies, Kaguya-sama Love is War, and is illustrated by the creator of Scum's Wish. I enjoy both of their works individually, so I was excited to read this one. If you are looking for a series about an idol, the MC is one, but if you're thinking this is going to be your typical idol story, you are in for something else entirely. This one shines a unique light on what it means to be an idol and the struggles that come with being one, like always being in the public eye and having to fake emotions for the camera, and the issues that people who are famous face in the industry altogether. But it's a supernatural story too. In this story, Ai Hoshino, an idol, ends up pregnant and heads to a rural hospital to secretly have her twins. The doctor there, Goro, just so happens to be a fan of hers. One thing leads to another and a mysterious figure kills him. He wakes up to find out he's been reborn as Ai's newborn son, Aquamarine. There's quite a bit of mystery to this one that makes it an interesting read, and it's a unique story involving reincarnation too. It's on Manga Plus if you'd like to check it out, and is currently releasing now from Yen Press. Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun has been releasing since 2017 in Japan and is finally getting an English print release thanks to Kodansha in 2023. You may have already watched the anime, which is incredible as well, but the manga is even better in my opinion. It has a great sense of...
Is it really? Because, like, I don't know. Like, it just looks... Maybe it's just me. I think I'm going based on the art style alone. Is it worth the watch or even worth the read? It looks really meh to me. I don't know. It looks like something that came out in, like, 06. Like, it gives me, like, what's that anime called? Sergeant Toad vibes. Is it Toad? Or Sergeant Frog? I think it's Sergeant Frog. Is it like that? I feel like it's like that. I have that feeling. I could be wrong, but then again, you never really know.
Samurai. People don't talk about it much.
I don't know, people don't talk about it. Yeah, I don't see anyone talk about it, and every time I see like that main character, it reminds me of Deku.
Of humor and lighthearted comedic moments, fun as well as lovable characters, and the fantasy demon world that this one is set in, and the world building in this one makes it a true joy to read. It is an isekai story with an extremely unique setup and story. Our MC, Iruma, is transported to another world when his parents sign a contract with Sullivan, a high-ranking demon. He will have to keep the fact that he's a human hidden and convince everyone he's a demon, which becomes increasingly more difficult when he begins attending demon school. Of course, though, there's more to this story than we initially realized. A lot of the humor in this series is a result of Iruma's interactions with his students as well as his teachers, but it's through them that he also begins to learn a lot about himself and begins to grow as an individual and form strong bonds with others. The characters are extremely lovable too. It's just a fun and amazing read. I highly recommend checking this one out if you haven't already when it begins releasing in spring 2023. This next one, Helk, is an amazing action fantasy coming from Viz in 2023. It's one of my most anticipated of the year and it's a hidden gem. In Helk, the Demon Empire holds a tournament to choose the next Demon King. The favorite contestant to win is Helk, a kind-hearted human who says the reason he wants to become the Demon King is to defeat his own race. Or does he have an ulterior motive? Dark forces are at work in this one too. While it has a seemingly simple premise, it's a fantasy story that flips the script in a lot of ways. Not only is the individual that wins the Demon King tournament a human, but he despises humans as well, which makes for an interesting and unexpected story. It also has a lot of depth. The series starts out as a fun, heartwarming read, but as it develops, becomes more serious, so you feel a lot of different emotions while reading the series. Like many of the manga I enjoy, it's fun, will make you laugh, but it also knows how to pull on your heartstrings as well. It also has some incredible characters, including the main characters Helk and Vamiro, who have a wonderful dynamic. In addition to having a great cast of characters, it also has great world building. Insomniacs After School is one that just has a really refreshing vibe to it, and it's quite a healing and relaxing read. There's something oddly melancholic but ultimately beautiful to it, and the humor as well as the dynamic between its characters remind me a lot of the characters in Dead Dead Demons, which is one of my all-time favorite series. If you enjoy series like Call of the Night, you'll want to check this one out too. And while it's not a supernatural one like Call of the Night is, the tone of the series and the main characters and their stories are similar. Insomniacs After School follows two students who have insomnia that find solace together in the school's abandoned observatory. This secret hideout becomes a safe haven for them where they can rest. They form an unexpected bond and find comfort within each other. It's nice to know that someone not only knows but understands what you are going through, so it makes for a touching story, and their connection is beautiful to witness. For me, Slice of Life series really hinge on their characters as well as the topics and themes they explore. Insomniacs After School not only has a unique premise, but relatable and likable characters too. It's just a nice, calming read that feels very fresh. It's one you want to keep an eye out for when it releases from Viz in March 2023. Dark Gathering is an exciting supernatural horror series releasing from Viz in 2023. The story follows a college freshman who has been haunted by his ability to attract spirits and the collateral damage it's caused in the past. In an attempt to blend into society, he becomes a private tutor, but supernatural danger returns when his first student enlists him in her quest to find the spirit that took her mother away. It's really good.
What is the type of art you're
art
into,
style, intriguing premise, cool character designs, and it shows a lot of promise so far. This one is definitely going to catch fire in the next few years. Dark supernatural fantasies like Kemono Jihen, Shadow's House, and Miyaroko-chan are series I enjoy, and Dark Gathering is very much in the same vein as these types of series, so it contains topics and themes like the occult that are interesting too. This one is dark and horror-filled, more so than other shonen I've read, so if you are a fan of horror, you'll be surprised to see the panels that show up in this series. March Comes In Like a Lion is releasing from Dimpa starting in March. It follows Rei, a young prodigy that lives alone.
Hey!
He's on the verge of turning pro in shogi, but he has
Hey,
no home life or much of a life outside the game until he meets his lifelong friends.
Sorry about that.
With their help, he gets an
paying
opportunity
attention
to
till I
start
looked down.
over, and we see him grow and develop over
How
the
you
course
doing,
of
hun?
the series. It's an Iyashike as well as a seinen manga,
Oh,
so
you
this
like
one
me.
is
I
full
like
of
semi-realism
heartfelt as well
myself.
as tough moments, and it focuses
there a
on
particular-
realism too. It gets deep into
Is
the
there a
meaning of
particular I'm doing well. Just trying to work on this new character design. You know me, I have a problem when it comes to character design. I'll make a whole new character and then abandon it, throw it out. You know what I mean? Just the other day we I did a bunch of this. Let me see. Let's see. Fun time. There you go. We did this yesterday, so I'm gonna have you guys vote on that soon in time, and then you guys can pick which one you like the most of all of them, and all that great stuff. So you can pick which outfit is the best one. You'll get to vote on that when I post that later. And there's me. Let me see. Okay. Red hair. You pick red hair. She picks red hair. I gotcha.
of life, what it means to be human, and it's a highly
just to answer, for Star, I just want to let you know there's a guy named Rhino Tuna or Reno Tuna, depending on who you're talking to. You go to Instagram and type in Rhino Tuna. It'll look like a fish icon. You're gonna like that character. You're gonna like that artist more because he does semi-realized anime. You might check him out. You might even heard of him for all I know.
relatable series, which is further
Let me see
enhanced
real
by the
quick.
fact that it mirrors reality. The
Hold
characters and their personalities as well as lives are believable, and it's easy to get behind the characters and their stories really resonate with me. All in all, it's one that connected deeply with me
Here.
emotionally and personally. It reminds me a lot of Your Lie in April in ways, but Barakamon too, so if you enjoyed either, I highly recommend getting into this one when it releases this year. Soloist in a Cage is one you may have already read on Manga Plus, but it's getting a print release in May 2023 from 7 Seas. It's
Yeah,
dystopian
and if you need
it's
help
set in
finding
a
it, let me
city
know.
that is better described as a walled-off and
Let's
heavily
see
guarded
here.
prison that's cut off from the rest of the world. So those who live there are very much stuck in a cage. Those who dare try to escape have to overcome not only a tough climb, but also have to sneakily do so as to not raise an alarm and awaken guard robots that guard it. In this city lives Chloe, our MC, and her baby brother. She dreams of a better life for him and will do anything to protect him, even if that must mean escaping this place forever, no matter the cost. On top of having beautiful artwork which pulls you into this bleak and snowy world, it is an emotional read. It's a 3-volume series, but while it's short, it doesn't feel rushed in any way, and it's one that has a lasting impact.
Trust me,
Recently,
it's hard to
for no reason
it's
at
hard
all,
to find
I
them
asked
because
Mint
it's
Mobile's
hard to
legal
do.
team if big wireless companies
Because
are allowed-
stylization tends to overrun that of the realism, and the realism tends to overrun that of the stylization. Because remember, realism tends to have restraint when stylization doesn't. I'm an art teacher, so I know how this goes. So like, when you make something super realistic, it has to be restrained based on whatever the. I wouldn't say just the universe. It has to be in the universe that you live in, like in real life, because it's realistic. So you have to keep that restraint. But when it comes to stylization, you can do a little bit more, get away with a little more, but it may not convey what you want.
Hikaru Died is one of the best new horror manga series I've read in a while. It follows 2 boys, Yoshiki and Hikaru, who grew up together in a small village. One day, Yoshiki notices that something is different about Hikaru and discovers that an imposter has taken control over his body. With a real Hikaru gone in spirit but not in body, Yoshiki struggles to let him go and decides that he'd rather be with whatever it is than lose Hikaru forever. Since it's set in a village where strange incidents begin occurring, it reminds me a lot of Higurashi, especially in regards to its setting and atmosphere. There's something that's just not quite right about this village. The people are secretive and dark whispers move around the town. The animals are uneasy and there's an ominous terror lurking in the shadows as well as the trees of the mountains. All in all, with all of the unexpected and unexplained happenings, it's an unsettling read. At the same time, it's very emotional as you watch Yoshiki come to
I think
terms
that's
with
just
his
the
new
biasness
reality.
of
It's
doing it
chock
so
full of
much.
mystery, has a beautiful story and art, and it's one of
It
the best
happens.
new horror manga I've read to date.
How long
If
have
you
you been
love
drawing,
mystery as
though?
well as supernatural manga, you'll want to give this one a
Okay.
shot. Yen Press announced that they
Still
are
having a hard
releasing this
time
one
with
with
family
English
right now?
translation, so it will be available to collect soon this year. Sora and the House of Monsters is a new manga by the creator of Marygrave that has beautifully drawn settings and architecture and unique character designs. It's releasing from 7 Seas in 2023. To put it simply,
I'm
it
gonna
follows
guess
the
that you
travels
want.
of a
I
monster
know for a
architect who's
fact.
conscientious about his clients' very specific and unique
Okay,
needs.
14 years. Okay,
A
you've
knight
been
who
doing it for a
battled
while.
these monsters before a
I'm
time
gonna
of peace
guess that
stumbles
you want to
across
play
him and his
PUBG.
band one day on her search for a new
Since your
home.
day was long.
Unexpectedly, after meeting him and seeing his work, she decides to work with him and they embark on a new journey together. What initially captured me about this series was its art. It's so intricate and has a unique style. The architecture and settings actually remind me a lot of some of my favorite action-adventure games, and so does the world building. It's an enjoyable and fun action-adventure fantasy series that has a touching story,
Okay.
and it really takes a look at what it means to have a home, a place where you feel comforted, somewhere you can rest and recharge at the end of the day, feel safe and make memories, and how everyone from monsters and heroes deserve to have a place they call their own. We see our MC searching for a home of her own, so there's quite a bit of depth to this one too. The Horizon is a manhwa by JH, and it's one of the most harrowing stories I've ever read. And despite it only being 21 chapters, it was still as impactful, if not more impactful, than some stories I've read that have 100 chapters, if not more. It didn't quite make me cry as much or take as much a toll on me as series like Goodnight Poon Poon or No Longer Human, but it came close, and for a series that's this compact, this is a huge feat. The Horizon is releasing from Eyes Press in June 2023, and it was confirmed at Anime NYC 2022. By the way, I want to mention JH's other series, The Boxer, real quick, because he's written not one but 2 series that hooked
Okay,
me.
we got
If you love JH's works or you
5
love
minutes
stories
left.
about boxing, it's
And
one
then
you'll
we'll be
want to
done.
check out. I actually have a video showcasing the first volume on the channel if you'd like to check it out and learn more about the series. One thing I really enjoy about all of JH works, though, including The Horizon, is the commentary on life. JH takes these stories, one that's about 2 kids living in the aftermath of a cataclysmic war, and another that's about a boxer, and tells them in a way that feels poetic. So the storytelling element is a strong suit of these for sure, but his stories also feel very real, and his characters are very relatable. The Horizon is one of the most profound and dark series I've ever read. It's similar to The Road, and to this day that movie still haunts me, much in the same way The Horizon still haunts me to this day, but even more so because there's no parent or parents helping these children in this story. Instead, the story follows a young boy who is trying to survive in a post-apocalyptic world after losing his mother. One day he meets a young girl who is struggling to do the same, and they accompany one another on their journey. Despite all the scary moments and obstacles they face, they push forward in search of a safe haven and are looking for light and hope in this dark world. Of course, that light can very well be felt at times in their interactions with one another, but it's very clear from the images in this story that the loneliness that these two feel, despite having one another, still exists. They meet other survivors along the way, adults who have lost their way and most notably have lost their humanity in their endeavor to survive no matter the cost. It's a tough read that, while has little dialogue, has so much to say. The atmosphere and emotion that the author conveys through the art is unbelievable as well. You really grasp the grave nature of the situation, and the way the story unfolds is just so expertly done. It's one that absolutely broke me, but I'm glad I experienced it nonetheless because it's one of my favorites of all time. Keep an eye out for the first volume, which is releasing from Eyes Press in June 2023. Sci-fi, seinen, and boichi fans, including myself, are in for a big treat in 2023 with the release of Origin, which is coming in fall 2023 from Kodansha. Boichi is well known as the artist behind Dr. Stone, but he has also brought us amazing series like Sunken Rock and Origin. I'm a huge fan of his works. He's one of the most incredible artists I've ever seen. He's one of the best of our time. Origin first released in Japan in 2016 and finished releasing in 2019 with 10 volumes. It has been released in a number of different languages, but this is the first time it will be printed in English. I really hope this means that Sunken Rock is coming soon too. Origin is set in the future in the capital city of Tokyo, which is now connected to Eurasia by a transcontinental railroad. Criminals and terrorists live in its metropolitan darkness, as well as mysterious creatures who prey on humans. Only one stands against them: Origin. Boichi's series always have a great sense of humor, as well as emotional moments connect you further into his stories. They are action-packed and feature incredibly detailed and stunning art. Robots with advanced AI exist in this story, but the real beauty to this one is that our MC is an android who wants to learn more about himself and what it means to be alive. There are plenty of emotional as well as beautiful moments, but we get some badass action as well as comedy too. We even have some deeper exploration here, not quite as deep as series like Pluto by Naoki Urasawa, but it still gets into the whole what does it mean to be human and robots with feelings narratives. There's also a great deal of self-reflection in this one, but it also has the action and detailed, unique artwork you'd see in series like Inuyashiki. So if you're a fan of either, definitely give this one a shot.
It's
quite fun and entertaining to read, but has a lot of depth to it as well.
Oh, no,
by
don't worry,
Hideo
no,
Yamamoto, the mind that also brought us Ichi the Killer, is one of the best thrillers and psychological horror manga I've ever read. Seven Seas recently announced that they will be releasing Homunculus with English translation in an oversized omnibus format. It was announced in 2022, definitely the biggest and most exciting manga news of the year for me, along with the announcement of Innocent. The story follows Susumu Nakoshi. One day he's in a lavish hotel, the next day he's living in his car. He is approached by the mysterious Manabu Ito, a medical student who says he's a perfect candidate for his experiment. He initially rejects his offer, but later accepts it when his car is towed and is in need of cash. In exchange for 700,000 yen, Nakoshi lets Ito drill a hole into his skull via a method called trepanation. At first, everything seems normal for Nakoshi following this experimental surgery, but this all changes when the effects kick in and he begins seeing the homunculus in every person. Watching Nakoshi undergo this experimental surgery is a horror in itself, but it's the after effects of the surgery and the distorted humans that Nakoshi now sees that are the most unsettling. It's hard to know what's real or not in this one too as you're reading, so there's an element of mystery to this series as you work to understand what is happening to Nakoshi as he himself is trying to understand what is going on as well. You really feel like you're in the story with Nakoshi as a result. It's one of my favorite series and I hope you'll check it out when it releases this year. Before I sign out, I also want to mention Goodbye Eri by Tatsuki Fujimoto, the creator of Chainsaw Man and Fire Punch, which I highly recommend picking up. It's a one-shot, so it's a quick yet incredible read that you can get into in 2023. Windbreaker, which is arriving in fall 2023 from Kodansha. It's a delinquent shonen story, so I'm excited for this one too.
Number 1, Rhino Tuna. That's 1. 2, Lack Illustrated. 3, I think his name is Roita. They're all on Instagram, so all I'm mentioning. They're also on Twitter. Roita. The fourth one is, I would say Hirikoshi from My Hero Academia because I like his sketches. Number 5 would probably be I do like Pororo's work. Those are the 5 I think mention. And I'll actually say 6 is Robeto.
2. I'm also excited to pick up Akane Banashi.
All these characters all these
people
are on Instagram. You can check them out.
I absolutely loved Black Torch and wish it would have kept going. So I'm excited to pick up.
I actually like the person. I also like the artist who's working on the Arthur, or the creator of what do you call it? Gacha the Kuda. So yeah.
Up their latest. I'm also intrigued by Don't Call It Mystery, which is releasing from Seven Seas and is by Yumi Tamura, the creator of Basara and Seven Seeds. I'll be for sure getting Chojin X by Tsui Yoshida, the creator of one of my all-time favorites, Tokyo Ghoul, Boys Abyss, Megumi and Segami, and Sugami Project 2. There are 2 other final releases to look out for that aren't new but are new format releases. The first is the Vinland Saga Deluxe Editions, which are premium 3-in-1 collector's hardcovers. I will for sure do a video comparing the 2 editions from Kodansha when they come out, so stay tuned for that. Expect these to be releasing in the fall of 2023. There's also a new box set coming out for Toilet Bound Hanako-kun from Yen Press as well. There's so much to look forward to, but these are the ones that I'm looking forward to the most. What about you all? What new manga are you excited to pick up most in 2023 so far? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks as always for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time.
Alright, so with that said, I'm pretty much done at this point. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, share, and subscribe. I can't talk today. Like, subscribe, share, and comment, all that great stuff. If you guys enjoy this, I'll see you guys in the next one. I do appreciate it, and hit that or smash that subscribe button. It's fun when people
Samurai. K Urina.
Let me see. K Urina. I'm back. Okay. So, like, with that said, we're going to jump out of here, guys. Have a great night, and I'll see you guys in the next one. This was Anime Collective. Give them a follow if you want to check out more of their videos. We'll do more reactions later on in time. I was gonna play video game, but it's already 11 and no one wants to do that right now. So like, have a great night, guys. This was fun for me making a bunch of character designs, just random stuff. All right, later, Star. I do appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. I do appreciate it very much. We're about to jump out, and have a great night and stay frosty. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. Bye bye.